Any questions? I didn't think so, son.
Well, it's great to meet you.
Wait, I need stuff. I need my prop.
What are you guys gonna do on your recording?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, just want to make sure I get the screen together.
What's this button do? Now I'm awake. Now I feel awesome. Somebody in Houston said, we're going to make you a scythe. Like, I'm talking like, I mean, these guys are like amazing props guys. They're like, you know what I want? I want a scythe pen. Like 2 hours later.
God.
I'm like, what? That just happened. You guys are awesome. Fortunately, it sucks as a pen. Oh. Silver Sharpies do not like altitude. I've learned something about Slurpees at high altitude. Because I took after my panel, I took my panel for Slurpees. Because I could. And now I'm used to lowland Slurpees, where you kind of like... Up here, due to either Boyle's or Dalton's law of inverse gas ratios. What? Yeah! There was a Slurpee storm at 7-Eleven. I'm just saying.
It was everywhere.
It's a super sick. Would you stop that joke?
3 feet of slushy I had to walk through.
You don't know, man, because you weren't there, man. Why am I stuck?
Was it a green slushy?
No.
Oh.
I was hoping it was going to be a purple slushy, but
Oh.
there was no purple. It was red. I could stick out my tongue and I could show you exactly what color the thing was. And the simultaneous braid and chest freeze. But yeah, Slurpees in low or high altitude, it's a different animal. Completely.
Good to know.
See, that's the kind of information that we tune into this show to find out.
All right.
So what are we doing? I'm very excited. What are we doing?
We're going to ask some probably very weird questions.
Oh, good. Why do I don't have to think? It's Sunday.
That's very true.
I'm not very good at wording today.
And me either. Kong hangovers after Saturday night are not fun.
Although I did hear somebody use the term word as a verb, and I was like, that's awesome.
I can't word today.
Yeah, and I can't word. It's like, what? Are you kidding? Oh, I'm stealing that. Oh, yeah, I am. I think I may be getting life back into this Sharpie. Yay. Or I might be lying to myself, as I often do.
And then nothing.
It's like it looks so sharp. Such hopes for you. You were going to be my ace in the hole. When all the other silvers were dead, it was going to be whoosh. Now I just need to have it rigged so it's just like whoosh.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
gun.
It's got to make the signs sound like zzzz. Wait when it opens.
I want a magic Sharpie. Dude, I got to show you something. This is cool. I saw this. It freaked me out. 2 rubber bands. One locked firmly in behind the other. Can't go nowhere. Can't go up, can't go down, can't go sideways, but on a good day.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea how I do that. It's just weird. I'm just saying, just super stop it.
Oh, you didn't get your letters to Hogwarts in September?
No.
Which way did it go? Wait, which way did it go, George? Which way did it go?
George? Tell me about the rabbits, George. Tell me about the rabbits. I will pet you and squeeze you.
And love you?
And rub your fur the long way, George. And again, Warner Brothers teaching us about legitimate theater. That's from Of Mice and Men.
Yes. The greatest stories of all time. Oh, yeah.
I hate you so much. I had so much hope for you. You were to be the future. You were the one that would lead us into the promised land, and now look at you. You're a dried up, miserable hulk of your own self. What if you can... I'll have to take you to my laboratory and see if I can rebuild you.
What are you going to do tonight, Brain?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Plan to take over the world. Go ahead, ask me what my favorite contemporary cartoon is. A double dog dare you. Double dog dare you.
So what are you most afraid of?
I'm most afraid of width. About 18 feet.
I think probably any guy would be.
I have. I saw what you did there. Aha! You know what honestly freaks me the hell out is masks. Neutral, expressionless masks at con. Because somebody will come up to you and the body language is saying, you know, ba 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 ba, and the intent is that you are walking up to me because you know me, but the synapses in my brain that want to process the subtle social signals that your face is giving me, there is nothing. There is nothing. And it's either to be like, oh my God, it's so good. I am a monster. I will eat your soul. They freak me out. Although there was a dude here with a pug mask. It was articulated.
Yes.
And the eyes in it were so sentient. You know, just talking to the guy, I was like, okay, I'm having a conversation with this 5.5 foot tall pug.
Mm-hmm.
That was acceptable to my brain. Because it was sending signals of some sort. But just the, it's just,
I can't stop looking.
and you're like, I don't even know what you're looking at. And then everything becomes creepy. There's this astonishing Sonic that was in the autograph thing, with his head about this big. He never took it off.
Mm-hmm.
But then it had its sort of an expression, but it starts to look a little evil after you've been staring at it for a while. And then you're going, is it looking at me? Are you? But the really just the total, like, there is no face under their face. So now you know my deepest fear. and my paralyzing fear of width. Don't judge me, man. You haven't sniffed all the Sharpies that I've sniffed today. I can see music. I can hear the color orange.
What smells like blue?
Green smells like 9. Sometimes, you know, the Sharpie films can get a little weird. That's all I'm saying. I did a movie with Christopher Lloyd, and it was like, Scott, you're not allowed to do Chris in front of Chris. I'm like, I started off doing this. He is intense. He is another thing. That's the 3 things in my life that I'm afraid of: width, masks, and Christopher Lloyd.
Really?
It was an episode of Psych. And it was kind of their homage to the 1980s movie Clue. So it had the original cast, with the exception, God damn it, of Tim Curry, which would have been cool. So, you know, and Chris Lloyd, and they're just like, oh, Scott, just heads up, just no doing Chris around Chris. And he's very intense, he's just super focused. And he didn't, like, you know, just stay in his trailer and stuff. He would just be sitting there smoking, or, you know, at lunch he would sit in the tent and eat his lunch, but just... And so finally, like, day 2, I go, well, I'm going to introduce myself to the guy. You're going to be murdering me, you know. So I went, Chris, hi. And he's like, I'm like, hi, my name's Scott. You'll be having the dubious pleasure, presumably, of murdering me most heinously later on in the day. And he's like, just listen. Wow. Isn't that nice? And then when cameras were rolling, man, it was just like eye locked, and I'm like, could somebody yell action before Chris makes my head explode like these scanners? Honest to God, he's so intense. And so I'm just like, so those are my 3 fears. And if it was a wide Christopher Lloyd wearing a neutral mask,
Your Halloween.
yeah, pretty much. That's it. You'd be like, all right, clean up on all night. Scott's gonna need some new trousers.
Oh gosh.
Excuse me. I'm going to call you when I change into my bikini, okay?
You got it.
Sorry. Okay.
It's like, that sounds like a good evening.
Wow. That was unexpected.
So what was your most embarrassing moment doing ADR or voice acting?
Besides, like, the obligatory, consistent, and constant fart stories that you probably heard every single time after time after time, the endless array of flaccid jokes. I got a good fart story.
We'd love to
Yeah,
hear
we
it.
love, yeah,
You know,
love
it's
to
really
hear
hard to be embarrassed in a booth when you're in there by yourself, which is why anime is rarely embarrassing, other than, just going like, oh, why did I do that to myself? And I have told this story before. This is when we were doing X-Men. So I am playing Wolverine. Don't make me get all Canadian on your behind. It's never been played right, by the way, because as a Canadian, having been to northern Alberta,
You know
where he's
exactly
from,
how to-
and this is, I am not exaggerating this. I shot a movie up there and I went, oh my God, I thought that was actually a stereotype. The real Wolverine, the way he should be played. First of all, you give any Canadian rye whiskey and it's an instant hockey fight.
Yes.
Yep.
So just a couple of rye, I don't know what language, I'll frickin' pound you right now, man. Frickin' look, I've seen you coming, eh? Seen you coming, man. I'll fucking give her right now, man. Frickin' give her right now. Eh? That is the real Wolverine.
Oh, man.
But so, on the scale of, of gay to straight, manly to less manly, basically there's Aquaman down here, and then, ooh, too soon. Too soon. Don't got real quiet there. Tough room, I'm telling you. Don't forget to try this shrimp. And then there's Wolverine. So, huge epic fight scene. I think it was Sabretooth and I fighting. So it's a typical Wolverine fight. Like I'm picking up planets and trucks and mountains and throwing them, and it's just like. I'm like, fuck. They were like, wait a minute, stop the tape! Play that back. This was the toot of a 3-year-old girl who was dressed like a princess in Disneyland. It's like, yeah, sometimes it happens.
Oh, my God.
All cred lost forever. There was nothing left.
You're like, I must hide. Is there any...
You notice how they put the name on both sides so we don't get confused?
It's like, who am I today?
Hi, who are you? I'm Scott McNeil. Although I was congratulated today very earnestly on the awesome detail in my Bret Michaels cosplay.
They obviously
Sometimes
didn't
I
know.
get the Tin Nugent cosplay. We both lie silent still in the dead of the night.
Is there any character you've had trouble portraying or getting into character for?
I hope not. If I have to work at this stuff, it's hard. It's just not different. I mean, I had to go to some very deep places with Grumpy Bear from Care Bears because he's the darkest of the bears. Prozac Bear. I wanted to change the little rainbows and stuff to gang tattoos.
Oh, God.
Be like, he's the lay bear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight out of Compton Bear. Boom. But they wouldn't let me. I have had physically the only thing I've ever done that I went, that was hard, was I played Cobra Commander for a while on G.I. Joe after Chris Latta had passed away.
Remember that.
And, that ain't no easy. I don't think I could do it today. But, 8 years later, I took that. No, I can't do it. And I went, okay, wait a minute. I'm auditioning for this new show called Beast Wars. What if I took Cobra Commander and took that and just started to bring him down about an octave or two? And that really was the genesis of Dinobot. I am so sick of hearing about you, lizard lips. Oh, sorry, I meant chopper face. I know. Shut up, Red Trap. We're all gonna die.
Where's Benito sick of them getting all the attention? Where's Benito? Where's Benito?
And the best line in the entire series, though, right at the end.
Where's Benito? Happy.
At last. Of course, now Hospinator is being voiced by Tom Kenny.
Where's Benito? No one to live in pineapple at bottom of sea.
It's not the same.
But if you can be
I'll
replaced
say
by
that.
someone, Tom Kenny's not the worst.
That's true. That's true.
Was there a question? Was I answering it?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. Attention deficit. Ooh, shiny squirrel. Boobies.
Yes.
Boobies, shiny booby squirrel. I have a painting of shiny squirrel boobies that my friend Sonia did for me in Florida. Because
my
the
gosh.
sort of shiny squirrel just morphed into shiny squirrel boobies, and so there's this amazing acrylic art piece, and she's a phenomenal artist, and I brag about her all the time, even though she's really shy, and if she hears this, she'll probably cringe. And it's very definitely boobies. They are very shiny, and definitely on a squirrel.
Oh my god.
And they're blue, which is weird.
That's the
I think
weird
blue
part.
was her own interpretation. Squirrels down here don't have boobies.
Denver's so nice. Someone came up and asked me if I wanted to buy some pots.
Only in Colorado.
What a
Yeah.
nice young man.
I'm like, dude, I'm from BC. He's like, got it.
We got just as many dispensaries as you do.
So in the day that we all remorse and you actually have to get a tombstone, what would you like it to say?
People are monsters!
Why don't you just give me to sign your death note while you're at it? I'm not staying in here. You're gonna kill me, aren't you? I understand. I see where this is going. Mr. Chair will protect me, won't you, Mr. Chair?
No, Mr. Chair and I have broken up.
What?
What do you want written on your tombstone?
What would I want written on my tombstone?
Cheese and pepperoni?
Yes. I am not a goddamn Yoshi!
Yes.
Alright, they finally put me in the pickle jar. I don't know. I try not to think about these things. And of course, I have at times come up with good epitaphs, but I mean, honestly, the best one that was ever done was for Mel Blanc. That's all, folks. And that's what's on his tombstone.
Oh.
So I go, you can't beat that one.
I was like, that's classic.
Yeah, and that's a legacy to a career in voiceover that I don't know if I will be remembered as such, but he signed a lot of boobies. 'Twas boobies killed the beast.
Has voice acting for you changed since the 80s, or since when you did it in the early or the late 80s?
Yeah, because we didn't have no fancy microphones back then. You held up the tape and you yelled at it. That's right, tape.
Tape. The technology has changed dramatically. I mean, we literally did.
Oh my god, I just said literally. This is so weird. I have to go to Starbucks.
Get a pumpkin spice latte.
Sorry. I found the air molecule in Denver, and I think I just choked on it.
It happens all the time.
It was rich with oxygen. No, it was nice. We started recording on quarter-inch tape. You know, there's still terminology. You know, give me room to get a razor blade in between those, because that's how we used to edit. And even with dubbing, with ADR, I mean, it was all, you know, if you missed something, you had to like rewind. Stick a pencil in the cassette.
Yes.
And even, you know, the logistics of, you know, how I just did some stuff down at Funimation, and they've got a great setup there. It's all computer screens in there, and they just scroll the script, and, you know, they'll edit on the fly and change lines, and it's like, bleh. And then the screen is there. And it's a very efficient rig for dubbing. You know, other than, you know, like now I have a studio in my home, as everybody does. Because I can work from my home, I can audition from my home, and it's just, you know, it used to be, we're auditioning for this new show, so we're going to have to bring in casting people and get a studio. Bring in a bunch of actors. And you know what they're like?
Ew, they're so icky. They smell and they speak funny.
But now it's just, you know, get an email, it's like, okay, this is audition, looking for this character, this character, this character, this character, this character, here's the description, here's some sides, and submit, go. Personally, I don't like it. Because I like to work with people creatively
Exactly.
to come up with stuff. And that's generally when, like Waspinator was a co-creation of myself and Doug Parker, who was casting it. And more Doug's ideas than mine. Because, you know, it's like, okay, all these characters are bad guys. So I was like, and Doug went, use your bubble voice. And I'm like, what? And that was something I'd used on Mega Man.
Mhm.
That was Dr. Riley on that one. Yes, to take over the world. Yeah, nice try, Doc. And then Eddie was just, Eddie, is that a present? Eddie. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but that's a real cutesy little boy. And he's like, yes. So what if you made him into a bad guy?
I'm like, Eddie went to Eddie. Oh, and then I'm like, oh, he's a wasp. I'm so suddenly,
You know, and then as we started, when I got the part, and then he just turned into an idiot because the writers met me and went, you're so dumb. So that was a case of somebody just going, you know, good casting directors will do that. I was like, oh my God, you know, that's cool. Really cool. You know, try throwing some of this in, or just bang, throw a little bit of that on it.
you know, stick him with a lateral lisp or just do something to make it not suck. That's what I'm saying. Or if you combine a lateral lisp with an added oral condition, then you've got a completely different character. I'm just saying. It's very difficult to breathe in your air.
Was that the question?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
These look like they should be tissue dispensers.
I know.
Or ashtrays.
Well, we got a little less than 30 seconds left.
Less than 30 seconds. Okay, let's do this.
If you could
Should we get
be
something?
any character you voiced,
If I could be any character that I've ever voiced,
who would you be?
why would I be? I don't know. I'd be some, who would I be? Who would I want to be? I don't know. Damn you and your good questions. I would be Wasabi from Sushi Pack because he was a tiny blob of crime-fighting wasabi that never spoke. I don't know. Who should I be? So, be Piccolo. He doesn't have any genitals. Right, don't be Piccolo. Be Duo Maxwell. He's
You
too
could be 15
pretty.
again.
Yeah, I am 15 in my head, man. Trust me, the window for me to grow up, that ship sailed a long time ago. I mean, Wolverine would be cool. No, that's just a lot of angry. Koga would be cool. And I'm sticking to characters that most people would know, because I've done some really weird stuff that nobody knows, and that would be awesome. I've also played some characters I went, oh, I would never want to be that. Sometimes we do get to play very dark things.
Mm.
Oh, no. No, too soon. Oh, okay. It was so cool. There was a big mural of Robin Williams out there, and I'm like, well, of course, you're in Denver.
You give us feels.
Yeah, it gave me big feels, I can tell you. Oh, Mindy, okay, oh, too soon. Remember that whole we're running out of time thing?
Yes.
I'm just saying, just super. Would you stop it?
I knew what to run out of.
You could do anything with your life besides voice acting. What would you think you would do?
I would save the world from cancer. I would like to travel to African countries and feed babies to other babies. I have no applicable life skills. Dear God, if I did not spend my days in small padded rooms screaming,
Oh, those are the best, though.
I would spend my days in small padded rooms screaming. But I get paid for it. Here's another bucket load of money, Scott. All right. Just keep screaming. I'll be fine. Oh my God, Herschel, turn up the air conditioning. It's so hot in here, I'm melting. That's a really good question, and I have no applicable answer for it, other than there was a lot of things that I would have liked to have done before I kind of just went,
Then you're just too weird. You're just too weird to do anything. You're a crazy person. You should be in a hospital. You need to find a job where, oh my God, there is a job.
yes, and it will be mine soon, mine.
Oh, well, they're saying we're out of time. Well,
Oh! Well, where are we gonna go? We got something to do?
Closing ceremonies.
We're talking here. Excuse me, these nice people and I were having a little conversation. If you don't mind, a little privacy would be nice. I went through 3 different New York Jewish accents, all in one sentence. That was very exciting. Now somehow I'm in Long Island, and now I'm turning into Woody Allen. It's very difficult. It's peculiar sensation.
Do you study voices to do other voices? Because you keep referencing a lot of different.
You know what? And that's a really, I'm trying right now, sort of as a joke hobby, but to break voices specifically, not like characters and all this stuff, you know, the acting and all that other bullshit. But the actual phonics, you know, the mechanics of being able to do things vocally, I want to isolate the 3 primary voices the red, yellow, blue of sound. And once I've done that, boom, I write the book, I retire, I live like a king in Patagonia. I've isolated one, and I call it the Bing. Because I was goofing around one day, and actually, I was still married. Anyways, my ex-wife had said it. And I was just, the Bing Crosby, gonna roam and beat the wife, And then I was doing something else. I went, you know what? Damn it, Dale, there's something wrong with Bobby. And I went, it's the same placement. It's not, sort of tucking up the throat and blah, blah, blah. And I started to go, oh my God, I could think of about 50 voices that are based on the Bing.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the Bing because that's the Bing. There's, I keep coming up with other ones, but I go, I gotta find the 3 pure voices. The placement, there's places where you can put a voice. It just, and everything is based on that. So when I do, the world will be mine. Because you can take any of those 3 primary colors and you can combine them to any hue in the universe. You just gotta know how to mix your paint. Damn, that was good. That was quotable.
That was awesome.
That'll be on the back of the book. Voice, it's that simple. It's just that simple. Learn these 3 voices, combine them in interesting ways, and suddenly, and I talk about this when I teach. It's not so much stressing on the acting again, but just the technicals of creating voices. And I don't like to use that term because I try not to create voices. I try to create characters, but sometimes, on DBZ, a show like that, already I was playing Piccolo, Jace, Deborah, Karoni, Majin Buu, Kai South, Kai, Dr. Brief, Android 16, blah, blah, Farmer in Field. And then every episode they would go, oh, you're also, Villager 23, boom, 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 beep, 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 go. And by the way, you can't sound like anything you've ever done before. So I refer to a thing as the toolbox. Like if you can do 2 voices, you can do a low voice and you can do a high voice. Well, you got 2 voices. Cool. Mm-hmm. You just finished watching a Red Dwarf marathon, and suddenly you go, you know what? I've suddenly figured out how to do this Manchester accent, man. We've got a plan. We're going to Fiji, man. So you've got that. Well, now you don't have 2 voices. Now you have 4. And then you combine, suddenly you say, okay, well, let's take something as simple as a lateral lisp. You stick a lateral lisp into that. Well, now you don't have 2, you don't have 4, you have 8. And if you're actually good at math, you'll start to realize that the math is way off here, because by this point you're starting to extrapolate. You're going, I got 32. You start to have all these things that you can combine. And so then when it is panic time and they just go, boom, what does this guy sound like? Go. And you can say, okay, I'm going to take some of this. That sounds good. Okay, you know what? I'll toss on a bit of this. I'll pitch it. I'll never throw in some of the bang, but bang, bang. In theory, then sometimes gold will just shoot out of your mouth, and that's how things are created. The toolbox. Okay, I've given you that one for free, but the 3 basics, that stays with me until my tombstone. It's like, he gave you the first 2.
Everybody gets one.
You don't get the 3rd one until you join him.
Grumpy bear.
Well, thank you very much, Scott.
Dude, you're very welcome. All right, we're ready to do this now? Well, I thought we were just
Question number 1.
Question number 1. What's your favorite character ever to voice? Question number 2. What did it feel like being Koga?
The murderous rage.
It's the Sharpie fumes, I swear to God, it's the Sharpie.